Welcome back to Stoic Wisdom TV. Have you ever found yourself staring at your phone, wondering why she hasn't texted you back in 2 weeks, maybe even longer, leaving your message unread, like you're just some unimportant side character in the story of her life? Yet, somehow, she's always the first to view every single one of your Instagram stories, even the trivial ones: the shaky video of your morning coffee, the screenshot of a healing quote that spoke to your soul, or the clip of you laughing with another friend, her face lighting up the frame. She's watching, always watching, but she's silent. Not a word, not a like, not a hint of engagement beyond that little seen notification. What's going on here? Why is she doing this? What does she want from you? I'm going to break this down for you like we're sitting across from each other at 1 a.m., both nursing a cup of coffee and the same kind of heartbreak, trying to make sense of it all. Here's the truth. She's watching because she's not over you, but she'll never reach out. Admitting that would mean showing vulnerability, and in her world, vulnerability isn't a romantic gesture, it's a risk she's not willing to take. Let's unpack this messy, emotional puzzle step by step, because once you see the bigger picture, you'll stop fixating on the wrong signals like her silent views, and start focusing on what really matters: your own growth. This isn't about decoding her every move, it's about reclaiming your power through a Stoic lens, finding peace in the chaos, and learning to live with clarity, regardless of her actions. Here are 5 key insights to help you navigate this situation, each one grounded in Stoic wisdom to guide you toward emotional freedom. This might sting a little, but let's face it, we live in a world where attention is the ultimate currency, and right now, you're her investment. She's not ready to fully let you go, but she doesn't want you back in her life in a real, committed way either. So, she hovers on the edges of your digital existence, watching your stories like a beautiful, ghostly presence, always there, but never tangible. It's a strategic move, a way for her to maintain control without exposing herself to the risk of rejection or emotional openness. By keeping tabs on you, she gets just enough of your life to feel connected, to know you're still within reach, but not so much that she has to be vulnerable. It's her emotional insurance policy. She wants to know you still care, even if she doesn't have to say a single word to prove it. Think about it. When you post something that hints you might be moving a new photo with friends, a new hobby, a smile that looks a little too genuine, she watches it twice, maybe 3 times, analyzing every detail. But when you share something quieter, something tinged with sadness or longing, she knows the door to your heart is still cracked open. She's counting on that. She's not reaching out because, to her, that would mean surrendering the upper hand. And for some people, maintaining control is more important than emotional honesty. They'd rather let their feelings wither in silence than risk losing the power they hold over the situation. This isn't love, it's a game of emotional chess, and she's playing to win, even if it means leaving you in checkmate. Let's take a step back and be fair here. Not every action, or lack thereof, is a calculated move to mess with your head. Sometimes, her silence has nothing to do with you and everything to do with the battles she's fighting within herself. She might be grappling with her own shame, regret, or confusion, feeling like she made mistakes in your relationship, but unsure how to make amends, or if she even wants to. So, she watches your stories the way a child stares at a broken toy from across the room, longing to fix it but too afraid to admit they were the one who broke it in the first place. Her silence could stem from her own emotional turmoil, not a desire to manipulate you. I heard a story from a guy, let's call him Eliho, went through something similar. His ex ghosted him for 3 months, leaving him on read while still watching every reel he posted. He was torn up, wondering what he did wrong, until he found out she'd been struggling with depression and didn't know how to explain her absence. That's a real possibility, and it's worth considering. But here's the Stoic perspective. While her struggles might be genuine, your focus shouldn't be on decoding her emotions, it should be on managing your own. It's tempting to hold on to hope, to think, maybe she still loves me. But the real question you need to ask is, what do I need to feel whole, regardless of what she's going through? Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control: our thoughts, our reactions, our path forward, not the internal wars of someone else. Sometimes, the reason she's keeping her distance isn't because you weren't enough for her, it's because you were too much, too honest, too present, too emotionally awake, when someone isn't ready to confront their own shortcomings or do the hard work of self-improvement. They often pull away from people who reflect those truths back to them. You didn't scare her off because you were bad for her. You scared her because you held up a mirror to her soul, showing her the growth she hasn't yet achieved, the vulnerabilities she hasn't faced. That kind of reflection can be terrifying. It's like staring into a mirror and realizing you're not the person you thought you were. For some, that's too much to handle. Instead of engaging with you directly, she lurks in the shadows of your online presence, watching your stories to see if you've changed, if you've regressed, if you're no longer that mirror she's afraid to face. She's hoping to find evidence that you've dimmed your light, that you've stopped being the person who challenges her to grow. If you're still that beacon of honesty and emotional clarity, she'll stay at a distance, unwilling to step into the light you cast. But here's the key. This isn't about you, it's about her unfinished story, her unaddressed chapters. You can't write those pages for her, and you shouldn't try to. Let her navigate her journey while you focus on yours, free from the burden of being her mirror. Let's not sugarcoat this. She's playing a waiting game, hoping you'll be the one to crack under the pressure of her silence. She's watching for signs that you'll blink first. Maybe you'll post a story about how lonely you feel, share a passive-aggressive quote about being ignored, or even send that late-night you up text that reeks of desperation. She wants you to open the door so she doesn't have to knock, to give her an easy way back into your life without her having to take the risk of reaching out. It's a game of emotional chicken, and in her mind, whoever texts first loses. But you're not here to play games, are you? You're here to grow, to evolve, to build a sense of peace that doesn't hinge on her validation. This is where Stoicism becomes your greatest ally, as a shield of emotional coldness, but as a lens of emotional clarity. You're allowed to feel the ache of missing her, to acknowledge the hurt her silence causes. But you're not allowed to betray your own dignity just to ease her discomfort. Let her keep watching your stories. Let her wonder about your life. But don't give her the satisfaction of breaking your silence first. She'll either find the courage to speak up, or she'll fade into the background like smoke on a windy day. Either way, you remain centered, grounded in your own strength, refusing to let her inaction dictate your peace. Here's the hard truth, the one that might hurt, but will ultimately set you free. You're not supposed to wait for her to say something. You're supposed to outgrow the need for her to say anything at all. She's watching your stories? Fine, let her. But don't let her linger in your life like an unresolved plotline. A director who walked off the set of a movie she no longer stars in. She doesn't get to check in on your progress like a nosy ex-boss, while still holding the title of unfinished business in your heart. The most powerful Stoic move you can make is to live so fully, love so deeply, and move so boldly that her silent spectatorship becomes irrelevant to your story. Let your growth be your message, your silence your own form of power. Stop performing for her and post stories hoping she'll notice. Don't craft your life around the possibility of her reaction. Live as if she's not there, because that's not coldness, that's growth. That's Stoicism in its truest form. Focus on building a life that reflects your values, one where your happiness doesn't depend on her validation or her silence. If one day she finds the courage to reach out, don't meet her with bitterness or resentment. Instead, meet her with the peace you've cultivated, and then dissident it from a place of pain, not from wounded pride, but from a place of quiet power. Whether she deserves a chapter in the new story you're writing for yourself. Her watching doesn't have to mean anything unless you let it. You're not her audience, and she's not your director. Keep moving forward, crafting a life so vibrant that her silence becomes just a faint echo in the background. If this resonates with you, if it's helped you break free from the spiral of overthinking her every move, consider subscribing, not for me, but for you. This space is your mirror, reflecting the strength you're ready to embrace. She might keep watching, but you're moving forward, stronger and wiser with every step. If this message resonates with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that will help you create the life you truly deserve. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.